A big WWE signing has broken down. A wrestling legend has teased a return at AEW All In, and a WWE Hall of Famer turned down a Raw draft appearance, so stay tuned. All In is just a few months away. As you may have heard, tickets are selling quite well for the show in Wembley Stadium, and a wrestling legend has teased a return at the show. Nigel McGuinness replying to a tweet by Tony Khan announcing the sale of, at the time, 60,000 tickets. McGuinness replying, "Yikes, I think I said if it sells out, I might just have to dust off the old boots." Yes, please.
Don't you tease me with a good time, Nigel McGuinness. Can you imagine if something like that happens? Maybe something with a Blackpool Combat Club there, if he gets
That's a nice shout.
Into the weeds with them a little bit. I'd love to see that.
Then you got to bring him back as heel, though.
I think it'd work so
well.
I
but it's
think
his
it'd work
return.
so well.
I would love to see him do it one more time.
Yeah.
If it's safe for him to do so. I think you probably need to protect him. I think you put him in a multi-man, like a tag match or something like that.
Yeah.
BCC's
something like that would be
pretty
good.
spot on there. I'd just love to see him back. I was rewatching some old Ring of Honor stuff recently, and he's somebody that just doesn't get talked about enough.
No.
He's so good. So good. And he could put on a magic show beforehand.
I was going to say, just as I was doing
Calm down.
He comes back as the wizard or something like that. Anything to see Nigel McGuinness back on the screens in a wrestling capacity in some way too. If he can do it, I'd love to see it.
My fingers are very much crossed.
Yes.
WWE Backlash has just ended. It ended about 10 minutes ago at the time of recording. And WWE officials are said to be very, very happy with one match in particular and one person in particular. Some people are saying it maybe should have main evented. I'm one of those people. Are you?
I'm one of those people as well. I think a lot of people in the chat were as well.
So good. Match of the night, as far as I'm concerned. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest, and officials are very, very happy with the Bunny. Worked Wrestling on Twitter saying, in case it wasn't apparent, Bad Bunny's Backlash match absolutely exceeded expectations backstage, with many superstars lined up at Gorilla to celebrate with him. There's hopes backstage in using him in some form for SummerSlam. Ooh. So perhaps future plans there. I'm more than happy to see Bunny.
Me too.
It's so good.
It was such a fun match, and it was what it needed to be as well. So amazing. Carlito was there. Savio Vega was there as well. It really did feel as though, obviously, a lot of these wrestlers from the neck of the woods as well, Puerto Rico and everything, and to have them there. And for it to be such a celebration of that culture awesome. And those wrestlers, that would have felt like an amazing way to end the night.
This is pure speculation, right? But do you reckon Carlito's back? Because he had the LWO shirt on.
Yeah.
He looks $1 million.
He does.
He can still go. We know that just from the stuff that he's done in recent years. Would you be ever seeing Carlito have another little run in WWE?
I was ready for it when he came back. I think it was the Royal Rumble, 2020 Royal Rumble, right? And he came back for that, and then he was on the Raw after that as well. And then that's all we saw of him. Yeah. And we were all saying the same thing. He looked He looks in fantastic shape. I would genuinely love to see it so much. The crowd, obviously popped for him because it was in Puerto Rico, But I think a lot of people would enjoy seeing him back on TV too.
Yeah, for sure. He's a name with a bit of nostalgia value, but somebody who can still go, pass his wisdom on to a younger generation, natural fit for the stable. And the stable are just so super over. And I'm not just talking about Tonight Show in Puerto Rico. They've been getting great reactions on Raw and SmackDown, despite the fact that they're not winning that much, if at all, generally. No, they've won a few. But they're still getting really good reactions. And for a group that was seemingly, maybe, speculation again, formed to flog a few T-shirts, I think there's legs there. I think there's a bit of longevity that we could see from an LWO 2.0.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe we get a big, just a faction warfare thing happening at SummerSlam then maybe.
Disciples of Apocalypse, bring them back. Bring all the have the oddities reunite for some reason. No, bring on. Yeah, I love faction wars. I know you look back and all the matches were really
But everybody has such good chemistry in Judgment Day and the LWO though as well. We already know those two teams can really go at it and put on a really fantastic show. So yeah, why not?
I'm up for it. Bad news now for fans of Colby Corino, as his big WWE signing has seemingly broken down. So it was reported back at the start of this year that Corino was basically as good as signed with WWE Body Slam, reporting that. But an update from Body Slam as well, reporting that while a contract was offered to Colby Corino, both parties agreeing to the terms of it, no signing on the dotted line, and the hiring freeze caused that deal to never actually officially get signed. So he was going to be reporting to the Performance Center in March. That obviously didn't happen. It was a done deal as far as everybody was concerned for a very, very talented wrestler who I would love to see in WWE.
Me too. He's evolved so much in such a short space of time too. I remember seeing him on 205 Live in 2020, I think, like up against Mansoor, and the way that he sort of presented, and this might sound weird, but he almost reminded me of CM Punk and ECW, just the way that he looked and everything.
He's got the look, yeah, for sure.
He looks so much like his dad then as well, but I think now he's kind of like stepped into his own so much on the indies and everything, and he's become such a formidable force on his own that I think you rarely see, when you go back and watch matches, you rarely see him have a really bad match. Like they're always quite they're
quality. Decent. They're really decent, yeah.
So for him for this to have not gone through is a big shame. Maybe hopefully down the line we will see him in WWE. I think there's a lot of stock in Colby Corino on one of these major programs.
Heaps of potential for sure on a big stage. He's not the only person, of course, that this hiring freeze has affected. Tama Tonga we talked about a few days ago now as not being able to make the move to WWE, and they were coming up with creative plans for him and everything. It looked like that was going to go ahead, but that hiring freeze stopped that also. Sticking with WWE now, just a little note, we missed a Hall of Famer during the draft. Unfortunately, Kurt Angle turning down the appearance. Chatting away on the Kurt Angle show, Kurt Angle said, I was asked to do it and I couldn't, unfortunately. Wish I could have. Would have loved to have been there to announce a draft pick, but unfortunately I was busy that day and I couldn't do it. So there's a shame. Any excuse to see Kurt Angle.
Any excuse.
Don't get me wrong, like the people, the legends that we saw didn't really get much of a chance to shine. They didn't really get to say much. But hey, Kurt Angle, former Raw GM.
Yep. It would have made sense, really, wouldn't it, to have had him there? But never mind. I'm sure we'll see him in some capacity at some point.
It didn't happen, but hopefully we'll see Kurt Angle on WWE TV in the not too distant future. We are finishing off. Major name has done with Impact Wrestling. The former Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona. He competed in Impact Wrestling for about 2 years, making his debut, I think it was in 2021. However, it looks like his time in the promotion is done. A report from Fightful Select stating, Fightful has learned that Cardona is finished with Impact Wrestling for the time being. Cardona had worked with Impact for over 2 years, in fact, without a contract, and the company was hopeful to see him ink a deal that would guarantee dates. While Cardona was happy with the idea of maintaining the agreed upon dates, but he preferred to do it on the same handshake deal that they had prior. However, that wasn't made an option. Apparently, the report went on to say that Impact are apparently inclined to be getting talent signing proper deals, no handshake agreements moving forward. So I mean, it's a shame because he's a proven draw at this point. Is Cardona? He's one of the bigger names, familiar to a wide range of fans on Impact. So. He's trolling like mad right now. I don't know if you've seen his Twitter, but he's constantly trolling people with like Zack Ryder back to WWE stuff, which makes me think this probably not happening. I think he would have shut up about it.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
I just think he's saying too much for it to actually happen. I'll probably be proven wrong.
I mean, it's a good way of getting people talking about you again, at least anyway, isn't it?
For sure,
especially when something like this has happened. Yeah,
his marketing of himself is fantastic. He's openly said like he's earning way more money on the indies now than he did during his WWE career. So unless they offered him heaps and heaps of cash, and with this hiring freeze in effect, that's maybe not going to happen. I think he's doing perfectly fine.
Me too. I think wherever he goes, it'll be fine. Not necessarily WWE. It doesn't have to be WWE at this point, as you said, because he sells himself so well. So no matter where he goes, I think he'll be a valuable asset.
He could crack on for the next 5 years on the indie scene
Yep.
and make absolute bank. I don't think he needs a major promotion at this point in his career to be attached to. Anyway, that's it. Good luck to Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona? Zack Ryder?
Or
Maybe.
Zack
Who
Ryder.
knows?
Maybe. He's going to pop up on Raw. Just you wait.
There'll be something
We made it look like a fool.
on Monday, yeah.
Anyway, that's it from us. Hope you enjoyed Backlash. Thank you very, very much to everybody who joined us for the live stream. Much appreciated. Stay tuned. No, you'd have to stay tuned. What Happened That is on the channel right now. So if you want a full recap of the show, which was... It didn't feel like a B show to me.
It flew by. It was really, really fun.
Fun. Loads of fun. See you in a bit.